Right, we are back. Another episode of Kidder Street Noise, and it's going to be a shorter episode because only one game to speak about.
Yeah, and what a game as well.
What a game it was.
Another brilliant result.
Another brilliant 3 points, another good performance. It could have been more than what the result suggested, I thought so.
Definitely, especially second half. But no, I don't think we can have too many complaints. It was just a really...
Not like us.
Not all. So another really solid performance and one of the most exciting performances I think of the season. To be up against a team like that and getting the better of them for the vast majority of that game. It was really exciting. It felt like we're getting back to like those first few games of the season. Like I think the home game against West Brom stands out in that regard. It's a really dogged, determined,
fast-paced, exciting.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it was a good day. Atmosphere was good, I thought.
Yeah,
I was pretty surprised by that because usually Saturday dinner time kickoffs, obviously most people are usually still in bed, aren't they? Like it's hard to get up for an early kickoff.
Yeah.
But yeah, the atmosphere was absolutely bouncing from start to finish.
Yeah, it kind of. Although obviously the atmosphere weren't as good as it was at Leicester, it kind of like carried on in that vein.
I think it'll just keep getting better as well. The closer we get to the end of the season, if we're still in this position,
yeah, definitely,
the atmosphere will be bouncing for the fourth goal we score against Luton or something.
We got 4-0. No, yeah, like I said, like if we carry on like this and you think about those games that we've got against teams around us like Norwich and Luton, and we'll probably play, a few more of those crunch games as well. I think we play Coventry at home as well, don't we?
Yeah.
Midweek, and they're moving towards the playoffs as well. So, yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah. So, big win in terms of the league table. It put us down to 6 points between us and second place, which has now gone up to 9 points, after the win on Tuesday night.
Yeah, they won at Reading, didn't they?
And they didn't play well at Reading. I watched it. I'm like, see, I'm becoming one of them weirdos that like sits and watches the other team.
That's how invested Rovers got in this
promotion chase.
Apparently existent automatic challenge. It's obviously an outside chance, even more so now it's back to 9 points.
Yeah, I thought 6 points. Like if you get a win and they don't, you're down to one game. Like I think even like looking at the remaining fixtures, we'd have to win every game from now to end of the season just to have a chance of catching them because they've got quite a decent run in. I think they have to go to Burnley away, Norwich away, but apart from that, a lot of the fixtures you'd fancy them to win. Yeah,
I was saying while Sheffield United were playing the other night, like if you can whittle that down to like 2 or 3 points with like 4 or 5 games to go, it's like you've got a chance, haven't you? But it's kind of more hopeful than realistic, without a doubt. Isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely a wishful thinking kind of thing. It'd be good to have like, say with 4 games to go, still be catchable. Like there was 6-7 points off of something, and then you're still playing for something. I do think we'll be. I'm confident we'll be in the playoffs by then, and like securely in the playoffs by then. The way we're playing at the minute, it's just it'd be typical Rovers to like beat Sheffield United at home and then lose to Reading midweek.
Yeah,
that's just us in a nutshell. And it'll probably beat Burnley at home and then get beat off the team and play after that at home.
I was thinking like the other day, like with how long we've been in the playoffs this season, the fact that we've hit this form at this time, about like obviously your mind starts to wonder and you think about like who might we play. I just hope like I'm saying this to mates, like I hope we're 3rd or 4th, so we're at home in that second leg and we get that massive occasion at Ewood.
Yeah. The team who finishes 3rd or 4th, a lot of people say like the team who finishes 6th have all the momentum going into it. They very rarely win it. The team who finishes 3rd or 4th usually go out and win the playoffs. That's just the way it is. So I think, like you said, to have that second leg at home, like big crowd behind us, that massive occasion, just Thinking about
It's
it.
like that's why I wanted like the quarter-final at home. I'll obviously get the advantage, but to be at Ewood, probably, a sellout, if not at least 20k on.
Yeah. It'll still be a good occasion at Bramall Lane.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I think we sold nearly 3,000 tickets as of recording.
Yeah, they went on sale. So as we're recording this now, they went on sale
yesterday
and went on sale to season ticket holders today. So
yeah, so like 3,000 sold already before general sales out.
Yeah,
I think we'll definitely sell out the initial allocation
before we're even on to 1875. Well, before we're even on to half season ticket.
Yeah,
I mean, I know there might not be that many, but there's quite a few 1875 members that aren't season ticket holders. So
yeah,
I think we'll definitely sell it out. I think it's been quite busy today from what I've seen and what I've heard. I know Rovers have put on Twitter. I like the call centre is like struggling to cope.
Chock-a-block.
Yeah, it's they've been busy. I've seen like pictures of people queuing.
Which in today's weather is not a good thing to do.
No, it's not. No.
I walked down to Ewood on Monday to pick up Stoke tickets with Marshall, and it was glorious. It was obviously I took the picture like the back alley leading to Nuttall Street, and like where you can just see the corner of Ewood, like from that alley, the famous alley that most Rovers fans, if they come from that side of town, will know that way to Ewood.
Yeah. And
obviously it was a glorious day, like bright blue skies, and it was quite warm walking dog. And then the last 2 days have just been freezing. Not. I wouldn't have walked him down to Ewood, so I'd have missed Stoke rather than picked tickets up. But yeah, back to Saturday's game. Harry Pickering, the unlikely hero. Goal of the season.
I think so.
We had quite a few worldies this season, to be fair.
Gallagher at Borough again.
Travis against QPR.
Yeah, I think that'll be up there. Trying to think what's off.
Dolan against Blackpool. Very good goal.
Yeah, nice move.
Yeah, I think
maybe Smodics at QPR for Travis's pass.
Oh yeah, that'll be
contender.
Even Galley's tapping with JRC's move beforehand.
Yeah. No.
Assist of the season, but not goal of the season. But yeah, very good move, and it just shows like how far we've come leaps and bounds. We've got 5 men running into the box on the break, and for Dolan to have the composure to pick out that reverse pass, it reminded me of were it Bennett's against who did we? It was Wigan in the promotion season, League One promotion, where Dak reverses it to him and he puts it in bottom corner.
I love those type of goals.
Yeah. Very clever from Dolan, because you'd expect most players to cut inside and have a dig on their own, but to like more or less put it on a plate for Pickering. And people said he struck it well, but he had literally all the time in the world to put his foot through it. Yeah. So yeah, that'd be my vote for goal of the season, especially if it puts us up there.
Up there.
I mean, that's like the difference between going up or like 4th and 5th. And I think it gets vote for goal of the season. And then they didn't really cause us any problem. I thought they were poor. They had the move where Basham skins about 84 of our players and like kicks it to Pers because like rolls it back to keeper. Kick floor into top bin.
I thought, they didn't offer much. We were just solid defensively again. I
just thought key players for them just went missing.
Yeah.
Like Endai, and however you say his name, he was poor. Yeah. And there was a moment, and then Sanderberg was poor, but there was a moment in the second half where they win the ball back when we could have had a decent opportunity, and Sanderberg brings it out, and he takes so long to pass the ball that Buckley gets back, wins the ball back, and then we break again. I just think like for such it was a big game for us obviously, and like a big win, but surely it must have been quite a big game for them, because if they win that, then it almost like puts us out of any chance of catching them, really. Yeah,
it does. To me, like they haven't really been on it for quite a while now, and when you're not really on it, when you're in their position, you're not really on it. If you come up against a side like Rovers with the form that we're in, I feel like you're not really going to get anything from that game. And to be honest, I don't think from the performance they deserve to get anything from it.
What do you think of the manager? It's a very unusual top 2 championship because we look at the managers that have been promoted in the past.
Paul Heckingbottom, isn't it?
Yeah, like Marco Silva and stuff. They're very modern, forward-thinking managers. But when I think of Paul Heckingbottom, it screams to me like League One promotion, championship battling manager. Doesn't I couldn't, even if they do end up finishing the top 2 and they do go up, I can't see him lasting 3 months at Premiership.
No,
I keep calling it Premiership. It's Premier League now. Though.
Premiership.
Call the Premiership.
Calling Premiership.
But yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a strange one, really. I just thought, especially with the players they've got some like young, talented players. I just don't think he's the right manager for them. Like when you look at obviously our manager, Middlesbrough manager, Burnley's manager. They're all young, new to the game, like new ideas.
They're like they feel like long-term appointments.
Because I think any of them clubs go up, including us, even if things didn't start well next season in the Premier League, they'll stick by him because of it is like a long-term project and they've done well already. But I feel like the first chance to get Sheffield United to replace him.
I saw someone on Twitter, I think it might have been Reed Rovers, put on Twitter the other day. If we went up, would you rather do like the Forest approach or like stick with, largely stick with what we've got and add to that? I thought that was quite an interesting thing to think about.
We'd have to invest.
Definitely.
I wouldn't go as far as Forest. Like Forest have literally not kept a player apart from your Joe Worrell and Declan McKenna. Is it Declan McKenna? McKenna, the Scottish centre back.
Yeah.
Apart from them two, I don't think we've got anyone who got promoted. So, and they've even signed players like Lewis O'Brien, who we spoke about a lot on this podcast. They've signed them in the summer to go and play for them, and he's not kicked it. Well, he played the first 4 games this summer, not kicked the ball since, and he's on transfer.
Turnover's been so huge. Yeah.
So I would never want to if we got up with this team, I would never want to sign 15 players and then your Dolan's not in the team, Carter's not in the team, Britton's not in the team, Kaminsky's not in the team, or Pers isn't in the team. That just wouldn't happen at all.
No.
I think we'd need to sign 5, 6, 7 Premier League quality players, but the way that Forest have done it is more or less overhauling the squad. And I think you'd have to sign players that if you came down first season, they would still stay with you and be able to perform in the Championship, a bit like Fulham did. So they spent a lot of money. I'm trying to think who they signed. Did they sign Harrison Reed?
Yeah.
So he's the kind of player that is.
I'd love to have him back.
Oh yeah. He's going to run his ass off in the Premier League and he's going to clock loads of miles. But in the Championship, he's also going to do that and be a quality player. I don't want us to go and sign players in the Premier League that have star quality, but they don't really work that hard, and then you come down into the Championship and it's hard to get that star quality because they're not putting the effort in and they can't really be asked.
Yeah, you want to make versatile additions that are going to deepen, really, rather than overhaul. Because I think this group that Rovers have got at the minute, the togetherness and the camaraderie, I think, particularly right now, is really shining through, and you wouldn't want to, if they went on to achieve something, unthinkable, something great, something that we all want them to
dreaming of,
something that we're all dreaming of at the end of the season, then you wouldn't want to upset that too much. You want to keep that spine.
Yeah, I think. I feel like Newcastle's recruitment would be one I'd be looking at copying. So they've signed players that they're not superstars. They're improvements.
They're going to get them to that next step.
Yeah, but you're not rushing it at the same time. So but they also have to be good characters as well. I don't want us to go and sign some I don't know, some PSG reject or something who's going to come in and take one look at Diaz and Dak high-fiving each other in the boxes and stuff, and just be I'm not having that. You want them to have good banter, really, don't you?
Yeah,
but also be a good player at the same time.
Yeah, it's one of the things Sober Thomas was speaking about today. Since he's come in, that's one of the things he's enjoyed the most, like just the banter between the lads and how together, how they're all, how it feels like they're all pulling in the same direction.
Yeah.
I think that's something you've got to prioritise really as well.
Yeah. Sober Thomas permanent?
Yeah, there was quite a few questions being directed to him today about that. He's got to try and like turn it away a bit and say like, "Oh, there's nothing in it," and that. But I think.
So you went to the press conference today, tell us about that, like tell us what happened and what was said.
Yeah, so
all the interesting bits. So
each week, it's obviously JDT and it can be any player really, a random player. Last time I went, it was Hayden Carter. I think last week it was Pickering, and today it was Sober Thomas. And yeah.
What was said? What was asked? What was NDA confidential?
No. There was plenty being asked. Like, obviously, a lot about the playoffs, and JT was being asked about. Has been, nominated for Manager of the Month. Sober, a lot was about how well he's performing and how he's fitting into the side. But as far as him becoming permanent is concerned, he has to kind of just bat it away really. I don't think there's any doubt that he'd want to, because the impression that I got today was that he's really enjoying it.
He's got a long contract at Huddersfield, and that's the problem. He's signed till 2026.
Yeah,
like he signed that 4 or 5 year deal, and then what's it called? Came in. What was the dodgy accent guy called that's just been sacked? Fotheringham. Was it? There was Danny Schofield at the start of the season. That's who he signed his new contract with. And then the new manager, the other guy came in from Germany, the Scottish guy from Germany. He obviously froze him out and then made him available for loan. So whether he goes back and it's... But then Warnock's not a long-term manager, is he? Warnock's just there to end the season.
Yeah.
If they get relegated, which is... It's looked likely since the first day they kicked the ball this season, so he's not going to go back and play League One football when he's got a chance of
Premier League football,
or staying with us and challenging for the playoffs and promotion next year.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I don't want him to go and kick up a fuss and start kicking balls about and stuff and rubbing people up the wrong way, but you'd think like common sense prevail where Rovers have put a decent offer in, and Huddersfield have obviously accepted it.
I'll tell you one thing we can talk about from the press conference. A brilliant quote from JDT.
You have to.
Where we are as a club, if you put a piece of meat in front of a lion, nobody can tell the lion not to eat it.
See, what does it... Are we the meat or are we the lion?
I hope we're the lion.
Is a piece of meat like the Wembley visit, or is it the plate of promotion?
The piece of meat is promotion, and that's what he's getting at. So
he's he's basically saying like, you can tell the lion not to eat, but it's going to get distracted by it and try and eat it.
Yeah. He's trying to
clickbait.
Well, not clickbait, but he's trying to say what he wants Rovers to achieve and what he wants to achieve with Rovers, but trying not to say that.
I think he's trying to say
directly.
I think he's trying to say, yeah, we're obviously looking at playoffs, but he can't say that. He can't come out and say,
no.
Yeah, we want to finish in top 6, but he's saying that in them words, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
And all the players will be looking at it, and I'm pretty sure they'll have spreadsheets up in training ground where it's predicted wins and how many results, and I guarantee that if the team in 7th place, if we win on Friday and the team in 7th place loses on Saturday, I can guarantee all Rovers players will be checking their phones and that'll be absolutely buzzing. They won't be saying, just take it one game at a time. They'll be out in Worley, in Clitheroe, 7 pints in, live it, drink. But no. So there's a section at the end where we'll talk about this or that, and then we'll get more answers on what you think and what your hopes are for the season. So yeah, when it comes to recruitment, sensible but improvement. But it's just who them players are, and I think when you look at the recruitment so far, it's Hyam, Britton, Thomas, Smodic, they all are improvements on the playing side of it.
Definitely,
and they all seem like good lads to have around the training ground. I know all Coventry fans said that Dom Iam looks gutted every time they see him, but I think he's enjoying it at Rovers, certainly playing like he's enjoying it. New contracts are a must. See, I think that's one thing that's like almost stopping the new contracts. Are they like holding off on offering players new contracts because they might get promoted and the good Championship players but won't necessarily be good enough for the Premier League? Is that what do you think? Or do you think they just wait like Biden? So like Daniel Yala, for example, if we were going to stay in the Championship for the next 2 years, then yeah, on lowered wages, you could offer him 2 years. If we do the unthinkable and get promoted, Daniel Yala, he can get a coaching deal if he wants, but he's not playing. He's not kicking a ball in the Premier League.
Yeah.
No offence to Daniel.
Yeah, that'll probably be on. I mean, I think Greg Broughton's responsible for that side of things because every time JDT seems to be asked about it,
ask Greg.
Ask Greg. That's all we tend to hear on the contracts front. So I think that'll definitely be something that's weighing on the minds. Because in any club that's challenging for promotion, you're going to have players that, should that club get promoted, will have to move on. It's just natural. It's like when we got promoted from League One. We signed players to win promotion.
And I think even the players that we loaned that season, like they were probably good enough for League One, like Antonsen, Payne, Downing. They were good enough for that division, but to stay in the Championship and push on in the Championship, they probably weren't ready to take that next step. So there was never a chance of signing permanent for them. Yeah. So who's next on the contract radar? We've got JRC, Hayden Carter.
Yeah.
There's a biggie for me.
Definitely.
Buckley's already signed one. Who else are we missing? How long have we got Pickering for? I don't think he's signed a new deal since he signed, has he?
No, I don't think so.
Pickering's the one for me that you need to get tied down to a new deal. I like Pickering.
Brilliant song as well.
Was anything mentioned at the press conference about Gus Williams departing?
No, that wasn't actually mentioned.
No one even asked it?
No. I'm surprised now.
What are you doing?
I completely...
Why are you going to see things?
To be honest, I completely forgot about that. That seems a long time ago.
He's not done it, has he? So forgettable.
No, nothing was...
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, to JDT, it's not really... It's like if it was like... I don't know, if it was a press conference with Greg, you'd probably...
Ask the question, yeah.
But to JDT, it's like...
Probably doesn't know really much about it.
Business, is it?
So someone asked Elliot Jackson yesterday on his Q&A, and he said something like, he was at Wales FA for 10 years. Obviously, it's international football. It's a lot slower pace than Championship football. He won't be working every day, but like come January, summertime, he'll be working all hours of the day to try and find out who's available for how much and all that lot. Obviously, the Welsh FA recruitment, you're probably looking at the England B team, like watching them and seeing who's not going to get an England team, who's English, who's got a Welsh grandmother, or who's been to Wrexham for a day out or something like that. Like, they can come play for us. So I thought it was more along the lines of he's taking the flak for the deadline day debacle, but apparently that's not the case. Other club matters, Brick's been updated.
Yeah, that's good news, yeah.
Good thing for the club and the community. And there's a few lads that play 6s and 7s at the Brick, so it's good news for everyone, really. New 4G pitch, most of it's being paid for by an FA grant, new changing rooms. I've not been for years at Brick, but when I used to go, it was just dingy. It was like orange lights and sand all over the pitch. Have you been recently?
I haven't been for years either. I think from what I remember though, it's something that's desperately needed. Because it looked a bit. I'd probably say it's been about 8 or 9 years at least since I've been. So, I mean, I had another 8 or 9 years of wear and tear onto that. Then, but I'd imagine it's, something that's desperately needed.
Needed doing,
Just good for the club, really.
Yeah, new 4G pitch. Maybe probably won't trade on there because they've got the indoor centre at Brockwell, haven't they? But it's, like I said, it's good for the community, people playing football.
Yeah.
Could use it on Sundays during the winter for like the main game if most pitches are off. That's like a good opportunity for most clubs around Blackburn Darwin to use it.
Yeah.
What else is happening club-wise? Have you got any news? You've been there today. Have you seen anything or heard anything?
So, Bradley back after international break?
Yeah, he should be. Diaz should be. I say he should be back tomorrow if he won't start, but
probably on bench. But
I thought he played well in the last 10 minutes. I know he didn't really get much at ball, but worked pretty hard when he came on.
Apart from like the usual though, like today, like about playoffs, and because that's like the main thing that everyone's interested.
That's what everyone wants to know. Yeah.
That's what everyone wants. The lines from JDT on.
No one's asking about new kits, are they? When a new kit's out, John.
What does it look like? John's pick. Yeah, they weren't really that pretty quiet, to be honest. Pretty, what you'd expect.
Yeah.
I asked him about like how the fans, how good the support has been recently. Obviously, like the fans have responded to like the really good form, and like how important they'll be as we approach the business end of the season.
Yeah.
And like he was saying about Sheffield United, it felt like there were 50,000 there.
Yeah, compared to usual atmosphere, yeah, it probably did. But,
Yeah.
One sec, I'm just going to check it's still recording because Johnny's trying to ring me. Check. Maybe it's still recording because I have no battery. Still going. Get ready to clap. Right. So, moving on to Championship results. Forget about Rovers now. We can look at the rest of the Championship. Blackpool 0, Burnley 0. Blackpool now 6 points adrift of safety. It's a tough ask. 10 games to go. 6 for a bottom team. 6 points turnaround is quite tough because Cardiff have hit form at the right time. And
yeah, it is. It's obviously a good result for Blackpool, but I mean, it's a good result because of who it's against. But at the end of the day, it's only 1 point. It's
Guard of Honour.
It's looking tough there.
Guard of Honour for Burnley. What do you think of the talk around that?
Not for me. It should only get. That's all you have to say in it. But you should only get a guard of. I think you should only get a guard of honour if you're the champions of England or you're the champions of Europe.
Yeah,
they're the only two. I think like the champion. Well, it's looking like they will be champions of the second tier in England. Yeah.
You don't get a guard of honour for that. Like,
Burnley fans have been pointing to like how teams that have won like League 1 and League 2 have got guard of honour as well.
I don't remember that. I don't think I've ever seen that.
To me,
I remember there was one. The only one I remember is Rangers give Hearts a guard of honour when they were both when Rangers, Hearts, and Hibs were all in the Championship. But I think Hearts got something like 98 points, like a record for the Championship.
Yeah.
They'd finished 27 points clear of Hibs and like 28 points clear of Rangers, who obviously were the playoff final that year in the Championship. Yeah, that were like that. If you've literally smashed the league and like set records and stuff, fair enough.
To me, you shouldn't be comparing the Rovers, Burnley, guard of honour situation to stuff that's happening in League 1 and League 2. You should be comparing it to when Celtic or Rangers have won the league and there's been an old firm after that.
Yeah.
Because, it's a fierce derby.
Yeah.
Do you see Rangers giving Celtic a guard of honour or the other way around? You don't.
No.
So, to me, it just won't.
Liverpool have given City a guard of honour, haven't they? That's the only. There's not really a rivalry anyway.
Yeah,
I don't think Liverpool United would ever do it.
No. And it's like before the first derby, company was like saying, "Oh, there'll be no praise or no niceties, I think was the word he used. From my end, well.
But you want a guard of honour, though?
There'll be no niceties from our end either. That should be the official tagline, if you will, the stance.
Yeah. But I remember we give Chelsea a guard of honour when they won the league in 05 or 06, when we beat them 1-0 that night to qualify for Europe.
Yeah.
But that Chelsea team I think they conceded like 15, they conceded 15 goals all season, so they'd only conceded 14 all season before we beat them. So they were an impressive.
It was a back-to-back league title, weren't it?
Yeah.
04, 05.
A very impressive side. So but I only think champions of the country or champions of Europe should get it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no chance.
That's enough talking about that, really.
Yeah. Huddersfield 0, Coventry 4. Huddersfield relegated. Said it all season.
Yeah.
Even Warnock can't change that. Coventry class from Jokeres.
He's what Premier League.
If
we got Ease 1.
He's the investment we need. Luton 1, Swansea 0. Swansea poor season. Luton 1 point behind us now. They've had a very good couple of years, haven't they? Really, with Jones, and now even Edwards has took over and doing well with it. Yeah, I
think they'll be in there. I think Coventry will be in there.
Do you think?
If they got, I think they're going under the radar. I think they've got a few good results, and they're creeping their way back into it, and no one's really mentioning them.
So if they got into 6th place and Rovers finished 7th,
to me it's them or Norwich.
Yeah, I think the top 6 now will finish the top 6. Well, no, sorry, I think so the top 2, so the top 6 will be the teams in the top 6, but I think it will be Middlesbrough 2nd, Sheffield United 3rd, Rovers 4th, Luton, Norwich. I think Sheffield United will drop out before the end of the season. But I can't see anyone from outside the playoffs getting back in without the rest of the teams and staying up there.
I think...
Because usually around this time, there's always like a team that's...
I think Middlesbrough might just pip Sheffield United to automatic. I think... Sadly, and then I think it'll be Sheffield United.
Hi there. Quick break in the podcast, just to let you know about some fundraising we are doing in the summer. You might have heard in the other podcast that my friend Tom's partner was diagnosed with bone cancer recently. The only symptoms that she had was a sore back. At 31 years old, Natalia was told that the cancer was incurable and was also in her breast and liver. Further scans have shown that the cancer has spread to her skull, pelvis, hip and femur. In November, she had to have a hip replacement due to the risk that her hip was going to break because of the cracks that the cancer had caused. So this May, Tom, myself and a few others are going to be doing the 3 Peaks in 24 Hours challenge to try and raise as much money as possible to help find a cure so that nobody else will have to go through what Tom and Natalia have been through. Any donations would be greatly appreciated, and any shares to help raise awareness also. I'll leave the links to the GoFundMe page in the description. We wish Tom and Natalia all the best. Thank you.
We probably won't finish 3rd. So it's like Sheffield United, Rovers, Luton, and then either one of Norwich or Coventry.
Yeah. Usually there's a team that's like been 3rd or 4th, lost like 5 in a row, they drop to 6, and then they eventually drop out. So I'm trying to think of teams that have passed it. I'm sure QPR have done it a few times. That is like Millwall this season. They've finally dropped out of the playoffs, and I don't think they'll get back in, where they've been more or less in and around there all season. Yeah, Luton doing really well, and Rob Edwards, fair play to him. I thought when he got that job that he won't be able to keep up with how well Jones did at Luton, but he's managing it.
Yeah,
fair play to him. What were we going to say? I'm going to say something about promotion now. Also, Coventry are getting into playoffs, right? So if Coventry finished 6th and we finished 7th, would you not think that would be unfair given the delayed points deduction? Because if Coventry go up winning the playoffs, they'll obviously start next season in the Premier League with -6 points.
Relegated.
But they've already got the financial investment from being in the Premier League by then. So it does it like they came down after one season, which most Championship teams plan to do anyway, because go up, get the money, parachute payments, go up, like, and invest it until eventually become a sustainable club in the Prem. I think to delay that points deduction into the I just think it's unfair on the other teams, especially if we miss out.
Yeah, I don't think that'll be a situation that will arise. So I think we'll be either 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
Submit. All right, I might sound a bit confident because there's still 11 games to go. It's like, almost a quarter of the season.
Just mint, though, aren't we? Just mint. It's absolutely class.
I just fancy us from this point to. I think when you look at the points that we'd probably require, we're on 58 now. I think I said 72. The championship average is like 74 last 5 years. So that's either 14 or 16 points.
I think 18 points from now does it. So I'm just counting 6 wins, me. I just think 6 wins will be enough.
Yeah, 6 wins out of 11 games. You look at the home games, Hull, Coventry. We're just big
Luton. I know, yeah. Jokeres absolutely class, will beat them.
All of a sudden we're looking for home games. Games like Birmingham away.
They must win, aren't they? Huddersfield away is must win, yeah.
But
I think that they're the times.
12 on Sky though.
Like, you look at Coventry beating them 4-0. Like, you need to match the other teams around your results no matter what. So Middlesbrough beating Reading 5-0. Like, we need to go and beat Reading on Tuesday. I mean, I'd take 1-0 now, but I still fancy to go and put 3 or 4 past them. Yeah. So yeah, going on to that, Middlesbrough 5, Reading 0. I think Reading are safe now, and I think they've just took the foot off the gas.
Yeah, it's looking that way.
Carrick's been linked to West Ham United. They sacked Moyes.
Interesting.
Which is mad considering he only got the job, January?
Yeah. Well, they beat us in December, didn't they?
Right, yeah. So, yeah, he was only
before that. Was it like
end of November?
Yeah, end of November, start of December.
Was it before the World Cup or after the World Cup? Must have been before. Because he played a couple of games and then we played him in...
I'm sure they had like 4 wins on bounce going into the game against us, though.
Yeah.
There were a few wins he had on bounce, weren't it?
Yeah. Millwall 2, Norwich 3. Again, Millwall dropping out of the playoffs. I think that's them for the season. Norwich 3 wins in a row up to 6, and I think that's them now hitting form at the right time. I know it's a cliche. Rotherham 3, QPR 1. Rotherham now 8 points clear. Great turnaround since the World Cup. QPR just free falling, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I don't think they'll do bad enough to go down, but very worrying for next season.
Yeah, I was shocked. Really, when you look at the league table, when you look how far they've fallen.
So obviously,
really
I think they're like third earlier on in the season. We were all talking about like maybe potentially getting promotion and stuff.
Yeah.
Just since
absolutely a fall off of biblical proportions.
What's it called? What's it called? Beale. Since Beale got linked to the Villa job, it wasn't since he left. It was as soon as he got linked to the Villa job, they lost 6 in a row, and they've just never hit back-to-back wins since then. Shocking. Sunderland 1, Stoke City 5. Sunderland fans, I hate to say I hate to say I told you so. I really, really do. Gale scored 2 in that game, and he's now on 3 for the season. When Stoke signed Dwight Gale in the summer, if you'd have told me he'd be on 3 goals in the middle of March, I'd be like, no chance. He'll be on 23 goals. But yeah, he's apparently hitting form. Who'd have Stoke play next?
Stoke City 1, Blackburn Rovers 0, Gale 90.
But yeah, just post-February slump for Sunderland, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And that's weird, because I'm sure when we went down to 8th, they did not overtake us and get into 6th.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
So, and they've just been, I think he's just allergic to the playoffs. Getting around there like, nah, don't want it. Watford 0, Preston 0. Preston's record for the season is 12 wins, 11 draws and 12 losses, which is probably, if they draw this weekend, it's probably the most bang average season of all time.
Yeah, the
sat in 12.
The season's been over for ages for them, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, ever since they got over that shocking start they had.
It wasn't really shocking, was it? They just couldn't score and couldn't concede. They've just Drew about 18 games in a row, 0-0.
It was just naff, wasn't it?
December not celebrated a goal yet.
They only scored like 10 or 11 goals at home.
At home, yeah. It's bad, that, innit?
Yeah, that's awful, really.
And they put 4 past us.
Yeah.
Preston away has got to be a must win, considering their home form.
Yeah.
That's another one we can chalk up now. To 61 points, get in. Watford have hit the panic button, sacked Slavan Bilic and appointed Chris Wilder 15 minutes later.
Watford have hit the panic button again.
Sorry.
It's
4 points outside the playoffs, though. Like, and is the Watford squad a Chris Wilder squad?
I mean,
when you look at the squad,
it was after we beat them at Ewood, and I should say we weren't very
impressed with their attitude.
Yeah,
how they applied themselves.
We weren't exactly full of praise.
No, you lazy man.
For the team that night, and to be honest, that's not what we saw that night. That's not what Chris Wilder will be demanding from.
Like, you look at his successful Sheffield United team, a lot of probably not the most technically gifted team, but a lot of hard workers, grafters, and like hard to beat, but also the overlapping centre backs make it hard to defend against as well. Can I see Watford taking his style of play on and being not a chance? I couldn't imagine asking one of their centre halves to run and track the strike, and never mind go and run and overlap the fullback. Wigan 1, Birmingham 1. The missed pen for Birmingham could cost them. I think they're only like 6. No, what will they be? Blackburn on 31. I think they're like 8 points clear, same as Rotherham. So missing a pen this stage of the season, they just can't seem to get any form. Wigan have done alright since Maloney's come in, but they just can't get enough wins. No, they're drawing a lot of games, and when teams like Cardiff are like, I think they've won 3 out of the last 4 Cardiff, and they've just propelled them up there massively. Yeah. And I think the draws individually look alright and they look like good results, but when you just need like 1 or 2 like late winners or a scabby 1-0, and that soon gets you out of that relegation zone. Blackburn 1, Sheffield United 0, Cardiff 2, Bristol City 0. Disappointing season for Bristol City, but big win for Cardiff. Again, putting them 6 points clear, whatever it is. I think, like I said, 3 wins out of the last 4. That'll give them enough confidence to get a couple more wins and they'll be up, more or less.
Yeah.
Hull 2, West Brom 0 was the Friday night game. Hull were very clinical, good finishes, and the West Brom wheels have come off quite a bit recently.
Yeah, they have. They won the other night, or didn't they? I think 1-0 they won the other night.
Did they beat? Who did they beat?
Wigan. I just made that up. I know they won, but I don't know what score it were. 1-0. It were 1-0.
Who against?
Wigan.
Yeah.
So, that's a win they needed to keep
themselves in the race
alive, really.
4 points off Norwich, but the form is like win-loss, draw, where I think you look in the playoffs, everyone's, apart from Luton, who have 1 draw and 1 loss draw, the other 3 in the playoffs have won 4 out of the last 5. With us and Norwich unbeaten. From
experience, when you're in that situation where it's like, oh, we're only this amount of points off, you kind of set yourself up for disappointment. You've got to be in there at this point.
Yeah.
To be there at the end, really.
That's why I think, like, when you look at the top 6 now, like, you look at the 4 in the playoffs, say, there's only 2 losses in the 4, like the last 5 games for all 4 teams. That was Borough's loss and Luton's loss. The other 3 are all unbeaten in the last 5. The other 2, sorry. And then Coventry, like you said, are up there. They're unbeaten in the last 5. So I think if you're still like sporadically like win-loss at this stage of the season, I just don't think you'll eventually. Because like whilst you're losing and drawing, the teams above you are winning 2 and like win-draw. Yeah. So like you're not gaining any ground on them, and they're even getting further away sometimes. So what chance have you got, really?
That's why those draws now that we got, like, even against, like, could you say Wigan at home was a good point? I know should have won that, but it's progress, isn't it? It's a point closer. And that's one thing JDT keeps speaking about. It's how we've changed and developed from being so inconsistent to just constantly picking up points, whether it's a win or a draw.
Yeah. Even when you play poorly, like, to pick up a point.
Yeah.
And like when you play well, like we did on Saturday, getting the 3 points is important. I think there's not been many games this season. This has been sometimes used as like a bat to criticise JDT. Like, we've won, but I don't remember us playing really well and not winning. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, people have said, "Oh, we've won, but we've looked poor." I don't mind that, but it's when you play really well and you can't break them down and you draw 0-0 or you lose 1-0. They're the frustrating games for me, and I can't off the top of me. Like, when we've been beaten, we've been crap, and got battered. Like, I think like Reading away and Sheffield United away, Burnley away. They're the games that you think.
Coventry, it was only 1-0, but we were bad.
Yeah, they're the games that you look back on and think, yeah, we got beat and we deserve to get beat. Where I don't remember us getting beat and coming off and saying, you know what, we deserve to win today.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, looking ahead to obviously Stoke tomorrow night. The optimism in me says that it should be 2-3-0, like, comfortable win tomorrow night. It's freezing. It's freezing here today. I'm dreading tomorrow night. I'm gonna have leggings on and everything. You won't be able to see me for scars and hats.
We're all up, just like
it's snowed on. Sean Dash was sulking at me. Yeah, these next two games, Stoke away and Reading at home, for me, have to be 6 points.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
Or it has to be at least 4.
Yeah, 4 point tomorrow night with the run that we've been on. Point tomorrow night and win midweek. Yeah, we'll have that. Takes up to 62.
Whereas Reading is Wednesday night. Reading.
Yeah, £10 a ticket.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 10 to go.
Yeah.
Everyone get on the offer. I'm not talking about team because I think we'll both say same team, won't we? No injuries.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, same team, go for it. Get sober Thomas on right, get an hat-trick tomorrow. Right.
Sit a bit.
No quiz, no guest. I'm going to ask you this or that.
Alright.
Right, okay. So, these are going to be difficult. They're very difficult.
Yeah,
so, win the quarter-final or beat Burnley at home.
Oh. Does beating Burnley at home get you something? Or does it guarantee playoffs or...
That's just something you have to put in the question.
Win the quarter-final.
Win the quarter-final and get beat off Burnley. Yeah, I think I'd say the same.
Yeah. I mean, not...
Doesn't bother me getting beat off them. If I got guaranteed a trip to Wembley, it doesn't bother me getting beat off them. Because they're shite anyway. could care less. They're absolutely shit. Yeah, they'll go up this season, they'll come back, they'll never win out.
They won't league, but they're
No, they won't, but I mean, like...
Yeah.
To never be in Wembley for us, like, Wembley's a massive occasion for us.
Yeah, win the quarter-final.
Whereas we can beat Burnley every year we play them.
If it was something like you could guarantee automatic promotion if you beat Burnley, maybe then, but probably not guarantee playoffs because you can't guarantee that you win the semi-final and get to the playoff final.
Yeah.
So, yeah, win the quarter-final. Done.
Okay. Beat Sheffield United, win the semi-final, or automatic promotion.
Final.
Get to FA Cup final.
Yeah.
Over promotion. That's difficult, isn't it? Because FA Cup final, I think, is once in a lifetime.
Yeah. It's like the tradition of it all, innit?
Yeah.
Bad with me and all that. Just being there. Especially, like, I mean...
Grimsby in FA Cup. Blackburn Grimsby, about 14 people watching on telly.
About 50,000 at Wembley, 40,000 empty seats. So, it's so tough, isn't it?
Yeah, it is tough.
Because, I mean, like, the last FA Cup final we got to was like 1960.
Yeah.
We haven't won it since 1928, almost 100 years. But automatic promotion, what that could mean for the club, like, well, say long term, probably medium term, financially, it's like, but I think your head says automatic promotion, your heart says cup final. As a fan, you kind of dream about those occasions, so I'm going FA Cup final.
Yeah. I think sensible head says promotion.
Yeah.
But emotional heart definitely says FA Cup final every day. Sign Sorba Thomas permanent or sign Van Heck permanent?
Van Heck.
Really?
Yeah.
That quickly?
Yeah, Van Heck.
Oh. What makes you say that?
But then again,
I don't think the centre-backs need improving that much.
that's a good point. Then again, you think about that, and I'm tempted to go for Sorba Thomas now. But I really like Van Heck. It's a tough one. I reckon we should open that up to the the viewers and the listeners.
Yeah, the viewers and the listeners. If you reply to us on Twitter, I'll put a poll out when the pod's released.
What do you think?
I think Van Eyck, which is really bad because I like Thomas. I really do like Thomas. I just think,
put it this way: what about if you're not giving Ayala a new contract? Look at it that way, and you get Van Eyck instead.
Yeah.
That's like, yeah, we're having that all day long.
I think because Van Eyck's proven in the Prem, and I just think when you get promoted, the quality of wingers available to you is probably at a higher level than Thomas is right now. I think Thomas has got the potential to be a Premier League winger or a top level Championship winger. But when you go, I mean, that's usually like your marquee signing. You go up to the Prem, you sign a £25 million winger, and like is your number 7 and shirts. Well, I say shirts going off rails. You can't even get one. All 50 shirts at Waggett's ordered and gone off rails with 7 on back. But yeah, it's a difficult one. See, I've come up with these questions and I'm find them difficult myself. Last one. What's the last this or that I can ask you? Okay, okay, no, I've got one. So beat Sheffield United and a last minute winner at Wembley in the semi-final. No result of the FA Cup final. So like, you don't know the result of the FA Cup final. Or last minute winner in the playoff final.
Last minute winner in the playoff final.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Over a goals get you to the cup final.
Last minute winner in the playoff final. Yeah.
Fair enough.
It is the best way to go up, and can you imagine that? Like, Daki as well. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Be on pitch.
Right. I think that's us done. No more this or that questions.
We'll probably be back after the Reading game, and then we'll be previewing the big one, the
cup quarter final.
The game to determine whether we
go to Wembley or not.
Go to Wembley for the first time in 28 years, I think.
In our lifetime, at least.
Well, yeah, in our lifetime. Well, maybe not quite in your lifetime, but in your Rovers lifetime.
First time I've been to Wembley in my lifetime. Oh no, they better to Community Shield.
Shield 95, I think.
Fair enough. Right, okay, that's us done. Right, we'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Talk about Stoke and Reading. Yeah. Come on, you Blues.